So I'm looking at this AP article, federal technology staffers resign rather than help Musk and Doge. So we had 25, and was it 20? It was 21 people resign. They signed this resignation letter, and they're basically upset because Elon Musk is coming in and messing with their department, firing people, interviewing people. It's not Musk himself, but people that work for Musk and people that work for Doge. So let's take a look at what one of these guys has to say, one of these staffers who resign. We've got Navin Eluthason posted this on LinkedIn and posted a link to the resignation letter, which is what I want to get to. But Navin says this: "Today, I joined many of my colleagues in resigning from the former U.S. Digital Service, now the U.S. DOGE Service, and together we released the statement below. Despite my short 1.5-year tenure, I helped millions of Americans retain their health insurance, helped hundreds of thousands of Americans retain their access to food stamps, and in the process, saved taxpayers hundreds of millions of dollars every year without cutting programs or firing government workers. My team and I were able to accomplish all of this before the takeover of Doge, and we are now all choosing to leave rather than to participate in the reckless, incompetent, and disrespectful ways Doge is changing our government, which will result in decades of immeasurable harm done to millions of people at home and abroad." Well, that sounds horrible. So here we have this Naveen. He's worked for 1.5 years at the Department of Digital Service, USDS, renamed to Doge, which, by the way, I think Doge is a ridiculous name. I don't know what Elon was thinking coming in, naming it Doge. Like, why does he have to bring that hype? Like, we want to unify the American people, not make the other half think, wow, this guy is ridiculous. He's not taking his job seriously. He's naming a government department after his cybercoin or whatever, after a Shiba Inu or whatever you call that dog, that cute little guy. But kind of not a great first step forward to name it Doge, I think, personally. But this person says that Doge is being reckless, incompetent, and disrespectful. And it's going to result in decades of immeasurable harm done to millions of people at home and abroad. And for this reason, this person and 20 other people are resigning. Now, this person goes on to say, "I've never seen a higher concentration of talent, intelligence, or selflessness than I have while working at the U.S. Digital Service, and I can't wait for the chance to work with any and every one of those folks again. During my time at USDS, I was able to grow personally and professionally beyond my wildest expectations, and I hope to take these experiences forward to continue to serve my country and my community in new ways." To that I say, if you have helped to build a department, and I believe this department was started during the Obama administration, so it's not a super old department or anything like that. The whole idea of it is to bring these programs like paying your taxes, your Social Security, veteran services, student aid. They mentioned food stamps. It's to put these services on the internet so you can actually, as a citizen, get online and engage with these web platforms that help you sort this stuff out. And I personally think that paying your taxes on the internet just makes sense. Like, the government tells you have to pay your taxes. Well, give me an easy, simple way to go ahead and pay my taxes. Why do I have to hire TurboTax? I should be able to get online at some .gov address and pay my taxes online. So I agree with the concept. I think it's a good department. This person is saying, basically they're saying, I'm going to step aside while Doge comes in and causes immeasurable harm to millions of people at home and abroad. And then down here in the comments, we've got people saying, "Thank you so much for everything you've done to make our country a better place. So proud of you. Thank you for your service. Continue to find the truth. Tell the truth." It's like, no, how about you stick at your post? How about you stay in your position? How about you and the 21 other martyrs here in the Department of Digital Service stay at your job and fight against the people who you think are going to cause decades of immeasurable harm to millions of people at home and abroad? How about you do that? But I don't know, maybe be a martyr, maybe resign, maybe step aside and get out of the way of the evil tyrants who are coming in to destroy our country. You could do that too, but I think that's pretty cowardly. That's just my take. I'm sure that this person and the other people have many reasons for their actions. I just personally think that they could have done a lot better had they stayed and actually fought against the harm that they saw coming. But let's take a look at the actual letter itself, which is linked here. Now, I looked around and I found this letter through a few different places. You can also find it through Reddit, but I think this is the actual letter. I could be wrong, but let's see what the letter says. Now, I think that excerpts from this were taken and quoted in that AP article, so I do think this is the actual letter. So it says, "Dear Susan Wiles, we, the undersigned employees of the United States Digital Service, renamed the United States DOGE Service, have resigned from our respective positions. As civil servants, we remained committed throughout the presidential transition to delivering better government services through technology and stood ready to partner with incoming officials. Each of us left senior private sector technology positions to pursue nonpartisan public service. We swore to serve the American people and uphold our oath to the Constitution across presidential administrations. However, it has become clear that we can no longer honor those commitments at the United States DOGE Service." My question is, why? Why can't you uphold your oath to the Constitution to serve the American people? I don't understand why you can't do that. Is DOGE coming in and directly ordering you to do things that would harm the American people? If so, maybe you should talk about those things that you're being ordered to do rather than resigning and walking away. And you can already tell, I mean, I'm biased here. I'm not biased towards Elon Musk. I don't particularly like Musk, but I am biased against this act. That's what I'm saying. I think it was a dumb move for these 21 people to resign. I don't think it was the right thing to do. I don't think they're honorable for doing it. I think it's cowardly. And I think if they saw DOGE as a huge threat to the American people, the last thing they should have done was abandon their posts, right? These people then go on to say, "On January 21st, we completed 15-minute interviews with individuals wearing White House visitor badges. Several of these interviewers refused to identify themselves, asked questions about political loyalty, attempted to pit colleagues against each other, and demonstrated limited technical ability. This process created significant security risks. On February 14th, 1/3 of our USDS colleagues were indiscriminately terminated by an anonymous email. These highly skilled civil servants were working to modernize Social Security, veteran services, tax filing, healthcare, disaster relief, student aid, and other critical services. Their removal endangers millions of Americans who rely on these services every day. The sudden loss of their technology expertise makes critical systems and Americans' data less safe. On February 16th, DOGE representatives began integrating us into their efforts. DOGE's actions, firing technical experts, mishandling sensitive data, and breaking critical systems contradict their stated mission of modernizing federal technology and software to maximize governmental efficiency and productivity. These actions are not compatible with the mission we joined the United States Digital Service to carry out, to deliver better services to the American people through technology and design." So here they're saying that they're saying DOGE is firing technical experts, mishandling sensitive data, and breaking critical systems. If they're breaking critical systems, why don't you write a letter? I mean, please do. Redeem yourselves here, at least in my eyes. If you're witnessing them break critical systems that has a direct negative impact on the American people, please document it. Document it, report on it, be a whistleblower. Don't quit, don't leave, don't let Elon Musk and DOGE into our government departments that have access to our sensitive Social Security data, for example, and allow them to break critical systems and mishandle sensitive data. That's the last thing I want to happen, right? And that's the last thing you want to happen, apparently. So maybe you should stay there and prevent it from happening. Right? Take responsibility. Stop it from happening. At the very least, bring some receipts. Like, come with a report. Like, I thought I could scroll down here and maybe see, like, when I saw this footnote here, I was like, oh, nice, there's footnotes. Maybe they have some information down here that is documenting the reasons why they're resigning, like why they can no longer do this. Like, they were given direct orders to do this, that, or the other thing, or what have you. But no, it's just a bunch of signatures And that's it. That's the end of the letter. So like I'm scrolled all the way down here. Maybe there's some other part of this letter that I don't know about that wasn't published, but one of the people that signed the letter on that LinkedIn profile apparently posted this link. So I'm assuming this is the whole thing. They then go on to say, we will not use our skills as technologists to compromise core government systems, jeopardize American sensitive data, or dismantle critical public services. We will not lend our expertise to carry out or legitimize DOGE's actions. Now let's see what this footnote actually says. No one has been identified internally as the official administrator or leader of the United States DOGE service since being moved from OMB. According to EO 1415-8-14158, the White House Chief of Staff is the senior accountable official. Interesting. So I guess that's in response to the anonymous email that they got. Because that's an interesting thing to me. Like if I received an anonymous email saying that I was fired, the first thing I would do is go to my boss and be like, hey boss, is this legit? Like, what is this? And my boss would probably say, no, that's not legit. That's an anonymous email. So unless it has a seal on it of some authority, I don't understand why they would even comply with, a termination in an anonymous email. But apparently, I mean, down here it says no one has been identified internally as the official administrator or leader of the United States DOGE service since being moved from OMB. So why would they even comply with the termination order? But this is the thing. If you're just going to get an anonymous email and be like, oh, well, I guess Elon Musk is going to fire me, so I'm just going to go home. Are you going to see them messing with our sensitive data or breaking critical systems, and you're going to go, well, I don't like the way this is going. I'm just going to resign, and we're going to make a letter, and we're going to tell the American people that we're unhappy about it, and we're going to quit. What are you doing? Like it's such a weak stance. It's such a weak strategy. It's not going to help anything. You're basically saying these people are evil and they're coming for our sensitive data and they're going to harm millions of Americans. And we're just going to step out of the way. Like if you guys aren't going to stop it, the people on the ground floor, the people who are running the systems, if you're not going to stand up and stop this and do the right thing, who is going to do it? Right? This is the whole point, right? There's no way DOGE can get a team up and running to replace all of you because you have firsthand knowledge of how the system is being run. You can't just onboard someone and expect them to be able to run a complicated system in a couple of days, right? You need people that have been there for a long time who have the expertise, who understand the systems and how they work, and they maintain things. You need that. So of course that this new organization coming in is going to be making some mistakes. They need guidance from the people that are already there, the staffers that are already there. But how do you expect to give them guidance if you're going to quit and resign? So to me, I really hope, to me, this is a coward move. To me, this is just wrong. I don't know what this is, but it's not helpful. It's not standing up for the American people at all. It's pretty pathetic in my opinion. I would say that this could be redeemed if they were to actually release documents, like evidence of what DOGE is doing to mishandle our information and what they're doing to break critical systems. Like if they had included something like that in this report, that would be awesome. But even then, why would you resign? Why wouldn't you hold out to the bitter end and be fired? Rather, like, be fired. Fight for the American people. You're a public servant, aren't you? You just give up when things get tough. I hate to see it. Like, this is just really sad. So maybe I'm naive. Maybe I'm being too harsh on these people. Maybe they have good reasons for resigning. I don't want to just say they're bad people. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying strategically, this is really dumb. Like, you could have stayed and continued to work for the department and been an insider whistleblower. You know what I'm saying? Like, you could have been tracking DOGE's mistakes. You could have been tracking their every move and reporting it back to the American people. But instead, you've chosen to just resign and make, a big public stink about it for your 15 minutes of fame. And I don't know if these people are putting themselves out there. At least this one person on, LinkedIn was. But it's like, what are you doing? What you're doing isn't actually good. What you're doing is abandoning your post and allowing people that you say are inevitably going to harm Americans to just go right ahead and harm them with no resistance from you. Like, this is a terrible strategy. So anyway, I don't have anything else to really say about it other than I'm shocked that so many people would just be spineless and allow this to continue. But that's my perspective on it. Would love to hear your perspective on it. And that's all I got for now. So thanks for listening.